Today is Tuesday, August 13th. And today I'm just wondering about a job I absolutely do not want. And the man who has that job is next.
Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the perfect temperature, and ensure your home is secure, all from the palm of your hand. Star Power has the experts that will transform your house into a secure, smart home. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Get started at GetStarPower.com. Star Power, where innovation meets home.
What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service, a cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere, and great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp. Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant. 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House. The original Bob's on Lemon Avenue and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch McKinney.
And now a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
Mike Pendergast has been in Dallas radio for 25 years. He's the current program director for 94.9 KLTY Christian Radio in Dallas. Mike's been married for 25 years to his high school sweetheart. He has 2 children. He's a deacon in his church. In virtually every way, he seems like a solid, normal guy. Except Mike Pendergast chases storms. Hi, Mike, and thank you for your time.
Hey, Norm, it is a pleasure to talk to you, to a Texas Radio Hall of Famer. So it's a pleasure to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Mike, we appreciate your time. First, tell us exactly what a storm chaser does.
Well, it's honestly, it's just you want to be in the right place at the right time, right? And it really sounds weird to say that we're chasing water vapor and wind. That's really what you're doing. You're planning out when a storm is going to form, what day, kind of whereabouts, and then when it's forming, you're trying to kind of be there to witness it create a tornado. And to be able to report that. So it's just, it's something that I've definitely had a passion for. And it's kind of a weird thing. Not a lot of people kind of understand it, and it seems kind of wild and crazy, but I've got a wife and kids. And by the way, a addendum to your intro to me, a week ago Sunday, I became a grandfather for the first time. So you can add that to it. But but I want to come home to my wife and my kids and my granddaughter. So
Mike, how'd you start? And the even bigger question, why?
I grew up in the Houston area, and I was a kid, and we had a hurricane come through. I lived kind of in the southern side of Houston, kind of towards Sugar Land in that area. In 1983, Hurricane Alicia, the eye wall went right over our house, and I was like 10 years old, and I can remember while walking outside in the eye of this hurricane and just being amazed at the destruction around you, but then the calmness in the eye. And then when it came back through in the destruction again, and that kind of sparked this fascination with all things severe weather. So I love hurricanes, I love tornadoes, I love thunderstorms, and anything that's out of the ordinary just fascinates me. And so fast forward, I go through college. I went to college to study meteorology, and instead I took the easier route of radio, as I didn't have to be as smart to do radio. But I've always had that fascination and that passion for weather. So I started storm chasing about 15 years ago, just kind of on the side, and loved it and been able to kind of grow that and, make a little bit of money doing it, but it's kind of like having a very expensive hobby. So it kind of breaks even at the end. But yeah, just something I've just loved and I've never really got tired of doing, and hope I can keep doing it until I'm, well past retirement.
I can assure you, you are the first time in my 80 years on life that anyone has said to me, I love hurricanes, I love tornadoes, and I love thunderstorms. Is there a season? We got baseball season, we got football season. Yeah. Is there a storm season?
100%. The springtime here in North Texas, April, May, and June, early June, just kind of that changing of seasons, right? So April and May around here are really big for thunderstorms and severe weather. And then as it gets warmer here, it moves north, but it continues into June and July, in the northern plains and stuff. So around here, yeah, April, May, maybe early June. And then usually in the fall, you get a couple of chances, October, November. But honestly, you can have tornadoes any time of year if the ingredients are right. It's just those are the seasons that are most favorable. If you remember in 2015, we had some pretty bad tornadoes in Dallas, Fort Worth, the day after Christmas. Mm-hmm. And so, that's an unusual time, but it's not unheard of because it was that day, it was like 80, 82, 83 degrees, I think, and lots of humidity, and just had all the ingredients there. So mostly in the spring, that's when I'm the busiest, but it can happen any year if the ingredients are right.
To chase a storm, what kind of particular vehicle must you have?
I've got a 2017 Ford Escape. It's my everyday vehicle. I just it looks like a golf ball with all the dents from hailstones on it, and it's got a cracked windshield. And there are people. There's a chaser out there named Reed Timmer who he's built basically a tank. It's armored. It has spikes to go, to like hold it into the ground as well. So he can get in a tornado. I don't want to get in a tornado because that's not good. I just get as close as I can safely. I say in quotations. But yeah, I just drive my normal everyday street vehicle. I just have to be okay with the fact that I'm not going to have a pristine vehicle. It's going to have dents on it.
How about the equipment you have in it though? Mm-hmm. Because you report on storms for CBS television in Dallas. What kind of equipment do you have in that vehicle?
Yeah, it's the technology today makes it really easy to be able to have stuff in your car. I mean, I literally have I have a MiFi unit, wireless, mobile Wi-Fi that's hooked up to a computer on a stand, kind of like the same computer stands that you'll see in like police vehicles and stuff. And so I have that, and then I have a camera out the front, and I've got that tied in through an HDMI line to my computer, and I'm just live streaming to CBS 11, basically is what I'm doing. I also have a second webcam that I'll live stream either on my Facebook page or to sometimes like the Weather Channel will pick it up and things like that. And then I used to have a roof cam that I could rotate around 360 degrees. I still have it. I just need to do some repairs on it because it doesn't turn anymore. But it kind of looks like a turret on the top of my car.
How do you get alerted that a storm, a possibly dangerous type of storm you want to chase, how do you get alerted to that fact?
So I'm usually a few days out. I know that the weather is going to be a certain way. Like I could tell you, like, okay, so a week from tomorrow, we're going to have a storm system that is going to be somewhere over North Texas, Oklahoma area, and the ingredients are probably going to be right. And then as we get closer to that time, I'm fine tuning that. I'm using weather models. Same things that the meteorologists look at and the weather service looks at and stuff. And I can kind of start to fine tune of where these ingredients are going to come together at the right time. And then kind of as we get closer, kind of fine tune that. And then on the day of, I've got radar on my laptop and on my phone. And so I'm watching for watching that. I'm watching satellite to see where the storms are forming. And then I'm going to get in position while they're going to be able to be there at the right place at the right time. So yeah, it's crazy that, we can have a general idea that 7-8 days away that there's going to be a big event. And then
Are there storms you will not chase?
That's a great question. So I'll chase anything, but I may play it differently. I won't play it as close. So if we get two different types of storms here. We have HP storms, which are called high precipitation, or LP, low precipitation. And the low precipitation storms, it's kind of how it sounds. It's not a lot of rain, so you can usually see everything in there. You can see the tornado. You can see kind of where everything is. And the high precipitation, it's just a mess of rain. And then where the tornado would be back in that rain hidden. And so on those, I'm going to play those much farther back because I don't want to get surprised and get.
Have you ever had a close call?
Several of them, yeah. I had one in particular that comes to mind. We were on, me and a buddy of mine, Eric, were on a dirt road in the Texas Panhandle near Tulia, Texas. And I was driving his vehicle, and it was four-wheel drive. So I thought, well, I could go anywhere. It's four-wheel drive, but the, muddy dirt road, I slid off into a ditch right as we were kind of breaking through the rain where the tornado was, and we got stuck in the ditch. And so we're watching this tornado probably, 500 yards in front of us maybe, and just watching it, and it's not going towards us. We're fine. But a second one forms just to our left, and we literally had a second or two. We see it, and it goes by, and it's within 100 feet of the car, and the whole car is shaking, and then it gets sucked into the main tornado we were watching, which then grows and changes directions and starts coming at us. And fortunately missed us, but it was one of those things where it was at the end of the time there, I literally had a tornado on 180 degrees of me from my left to the front to the right of us, and it missed us. But there's certainly been some times where I've been in a bad situation and been closer than I should have been, for sure.
Well, let me tell you, Mike, the situation you just described, that would have ended my storm chasing.
Yeah, I told my wife that evening, and she got pretty mad at me. So she refused to watch the video of it for the next couple of years. But I've got it posted on my YouTube channel. You can check it out.
You're a certified drone pilot. Mm-hmm. Do you ever use drones in storm chasing?
I have. I don't have the type of drone that you can fly into one. Several guys do, and maybe one day I will. But I have brought mine out, and it's really good for like kind of post damage video stuff. But I've taken it out kind of beforehand a couple times, and it doesn't. If it's too windy, which it normally is around those, I could lose it. So I haven't used it as much as I would like to beforehand, but quite often afterwards, just to get like damage shots and tornado path evidence and stuff.
There's a new Twisters movie coming out. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us how close to reality these movies are?
So I actually did a Storm Chasers review of it on my YouTube, kind of from the perspective of a storm chaser, and it is. I thought the effects, I thought the CGI of the tornadoes was very well done. It looked very realistic. They did a great job with that. It's Hollywood, so there's some exaggerations there. Like you wouldn't go storm chasing and after standing around for 2 minutes, go a mile and there's a tornado right there. It doesn't work that fast and that easily, right? But it is a very entertaining movie. The other thing was that it kind of showed just a handful of people chasing the storm, and in reality, there's hundreds of us out there. And
wait.
Yeah.
Wait, there's hundreds of you out there?
They're on big chase days where there's a really high risk, and let's say it's Oklahoma, and there's There's a lot of storm chasers in Oklahoma in particular, just because the weather is so bad kind of from here up through there in Kansas, that you can have a storm where if it's the only one around on a high risk day, there could be hundreds of us out there. And on these small country back roads that don't really support it, we call that chaser convergence. And I've been in a traffic jam trying to follow a tornado before, and that's not a lot of fun.
Baseball has its Babe Ruth and basketball has its Michael Jordan. Is there such a thing as a legendary storm chaser?
I would say Tim Samaras. Tim Samaras was a storm chaser that kind of revolutionized getting data from storms in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. And he's kind of the one who invented the pod that they'll take and they'll put in front of a tornado, and it has all the instruments on it, and then it'll record data so that they can better understand the tornado and stuff. He was actually killed in the El Reno tornado in May 2013. He was the first. Him and his son and his chase partner were the first storm chasers ever killed by a tornado. Ironically, which he was kind of the pioneer of that. But yeah, he would be the one that I think all of us kind of look up to, and kind of has that legend status.
Mike, do your friends think you're crazy?
A lot of my friends are storm chasers, so no. They if you don't understand it, it certainly could feel that way. And people at work and other friends that don't chase kind of probably think I'm a little, have a few screws loose here or there. Ironically, people always ask, what does your wife think? And my wife, Teresa, will chase with me when she has the opportunity to.
No.
Yeah. So it's making it a family affair.
Finally, well, I guess you just answered my question. There are people who ride along with you as you storm chase?
I've done that before with friends and yeah, things like that. I actually had a documentary crew from the Netherlands who rode out with my friend and I in May for 4 days. And so, yeah, we'll I'll bring friends, I'll bring family, things like that. So,
well,
as well. So next spring, Norm, if you want to come along, let me know. I can hook you up.
Mike, I think I'm busy all next spring. Hey, Mike, thank you. This is fascinating. We really appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Norm. I thanks for having the opportunity to come on and talk and just talk to a radio legend. I really enjoyed it.
Well, Godspeed, and in your case, especially, safe travels.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle, by Star Power, Love Where You Live, and by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Just Wondering. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit follow, and then every weekday, a fresh new episode will be delivered right to you. And should you know other people who might enjoy it, please share it with friends. The executive producer and sometimes on-air talent of Just Wondering is my wife, Mary Dange. The producer is Mike Matern. The technical director is IndyCar Tim Hand from FanStream Sports. We really appreciate your being with us. This is fun to do, and I hope it's fun for you too. And realize that every day, I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.